Welcome everyone to VargasReef Chronicles, and I have a really nice surprise, as you can see from what's behind me. I asked Eamon for probably the nicest reef aquarium in all of Dubai, and he told me that there is a national who has a really gorgeous tank, and I said, you know what? That's the guy I want to meet. I want to meet him over the expats, right? I want to meet a national, an Emirati, who has an amazing aquarium. And as you can see behind me, he's got aquaporas that are doing fantastic. He's got beautiful, gorgeous fish in there. And there's several questions that I have that we want to learn more about this tank. You have to love reefing. We're gonna have our coffee, right?
Arabic coffee.
Arabic coffee. So it's a little bit different from the American coffee, the Latino coffee. This is Arabic coffee. So this is a little different, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, is it really hot?
Yes. No, you can't drink it.
I could drink it?
Yes.
But it won't burn me?
No.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Because I burn easy. So, like I always do, we discuss reefing and we have coffee. So, thank you for inviting me to your house.
You are most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. It is hot. Ooh, and it's very, very different. You can taste the coffee. It's like a blend of coffee and tea almost.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Because we are making on fire like 15-20 minutes on fire.
On fire?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It is different, and it is quite tasty. Have you ever put cream in this? Like
Nothing.
milk?
Nothing.
Never.
Nothing.
You never put it, right? Okay, no sugar and no milk. Just straight coffee, and it's quite interesting. Let's see how hyper I become throughout this interview. How long have you been keeping fish?
Keeping fish actually around 5 years now.
5 years?
Yes.
That's all?
Yes.
Really?
I'm start with freshwater,
Okay.
and then I transfer to marine.
So when you were keeping freshwater, well, and by the way, I walked into his place, and when you walk in, there's a freshwater tank. Then you walk into a room, and there is a tank there, there's a tank here, there's a tank there, there's this one here, there's two more
Yes.
behind this one.
One peninsula, one
So imagine, he started the hobby of keeping fish, aquatics, not too long ago, and now he has a room full of tanks, and doing very well, by the way. And it looks like he's getting all the right information, he's getting good guidance. You started the freshwater,
Yes.
and what were the first fish you were keeping in freshwater? Oh, okay, in freshwater.
Guppy, actually.
Guppies.
Yes.
So it was those over there. Okay, and so tell us your little adventure about what happened with the guppies. You put them in one thing, and
I was thinking to make a small tank for a coffee corner. So when I bring them in first day, they breed from 2 to 32 or 40, around 30 or 40. So from this tank, I have to transfer them to big
To a
tank.
bigger tank.
Yes.
So now you have that big tank there,
Yes.
and it looks like there's easily about 100 in there,
Yes, around 100 or more.
or more.
Yes.
And it's interesting because he's got different varieties of guppies. Those that know me know that I started in the hobby of aquatics at the age of 6, and it was a pickle jar with a pair of guppies, and that's how my passion for aquatics started, with a pickle jar and guppies. And to see that this man here started 6 years ago with guppies in a small container, and today he has a bigger tank with guppies still, while having this one. So you went from the guppies to this tank, then you did another bigger freshwater tank, yes? The
Yes.
one out there.
Yes. Then also one more, and I shut down.
Okay, you shut that one down. So why did you start a second freshwater tank?
Actually my mind is changed from guppy to discus.
A discus.
Yes.
Now, see, here's a man who loves challenges, right?
Big difference.
Because we all know that keeping discus can be a challenge.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah. So, how many discus did you keep, and how many do you have now?
I keep almost in the old tank around 20 to 30 discus.
Wow.
Yes.
And they require a lot of attention, don't they?
Yes, you are right. You have to quarantine it first. Then you have to give them some special food, like a meat.
Meaty foods.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're carnivorous.
Yes, to interest them to eat.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay. So it took you a while to acclimate them.
Yes.
To.
It's like challenge you to how to feed them in the beginning.
So now you still have the tank
No,
with fresh water, but I saw discus, but I saw other fish in there as well.
Yes, I transferred from only fish to planet this tank.
Okay, so you started putting plants in there, and now you enjoy that little one there.
No, I'm not enjoying it.
No, you're not enjoying it then?
No.
Well, once you get to this, it's so difficult to look at the hobby the same when you're in freshwater. Like Barnett said in one of the interviews, he went from a black and white TV to color, and that's what happens to us. We see this, we see the colors, right away, but
slowly we are forgetting the fresh.
yeah, you forget the fresh water a little bit, but you haven't forgotten about your guppies. No, and it's interesting because the guppies are very colorful.
Yes.
The ones that you have in there, you have black, you have yellow, you have orange, you have green, reds.
Yes.
So you have a great variety of guppies in there. Which one was your first saltwater tank?
My first saltwater tank, it was Red Sea, 440 reefer, 150 centimeter. Then I transferred after 1 year from this Red Sea to this.
To this?
Yes.
After 1 year?
After 1 year.
Okay, so you get the Red Sea reefer.
Yes.
What did you have inside that Red Sea reefer? What did you put in there?
It was full of mixed corals.
Mixed corals.
Full.
So you had SPS,
SBS, LBS.
and softies.
Yes.
Wow. And obviously it was doing real good because it made you want to get a bigger tank.
The main issue was with me, there is no more space for the coral. So I have to upgrade it.
And it's so good to see someone that jumps into the hobby, right? And takes on the challenge. And the challenge is, guess what? I want these things to grow. And within 1 year's time,
Yes.
the corals are growing out of control.
Yes.
Right. So obviously you have a method
Yes.
on how you keep your corals and everything, because the growth in here is amazing as well. So you had that tank, you went to this one, and when you set it up, I noticed one thing really interesting. Well, there's several things about this tank that are interesting, but one of the things that I noticed was your substrate. What made you choose this over regular sand?
The main reason, actually, it was the flow. The SBS is it need more and more flow. With
Right.
the sand, it will fly everywhere.
It flies everywhere. You get this open area where there's no sand.
Yes.
So in this tank, I guess the flow can't move this substrate.
Yes.
The substrate is interesting, and it's very unique. And you can see that some of the substrate has coralline on it already. So the coralline is growing on the substrate
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Everywhere. Even in the glass, in the brace, you can't see in the brace also.
So the brace has coralline growing on it.
If I don't remove it, it will block the light.
Oh my goodness. I have another question for you. You have an interesting thing here that the corals are on some kind of rods, and these rods move slightly, and the whole island on top of the rod is shifting a little bit. Did you mean to do that, or how did that happen?
It happened with actually little luck.
By luck?
By luck.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking to make in the beginning like a floating island.
Yes.
Then the acro became more heavier than before, so it started shaking now.
So as the flow moves through the corals, it's actually moving the island. And it's really interesting. I would not be surprised if down the road we see more of this, because it looks really nice. It's really interesting. And I'm fascinated by it. So I'll do some close-ups of that as well, so then that way you can see what we're talking about.
The main reason I don't fix it, I feel the acro is it's like happier. It's happy, not like don't feel good or stress.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're actually getting a benefit from it, because let's picture this. It's on this rod and it's shifting back and forth based on the flow that's going through it.
Yes.
So as the flow is moving in one direction, it's shifting the other direction. So it's actually giving the corals more movement, right? So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's really nice. So that's pretty amazing. So now, you grew your passion with the Red Sea. What made you decide to go with corals? Because most beginners start with just saltwater fish, and then they see corals, and then they get interested in the corals. What made you decide to go with challenging corals? Do you like being challenged?
In beginning, I hear from people there is too much challenge, there is too much issue, there is too much problems to keep the corals, actually, not the fish only. So I want to start challenge myself.
So you like challenges. You like something to strive for, to go to. Yeah. So, and obviously this tank is a challenge, but he's doing very well with it. So, the rock work, was this a design that you made, or did the shop make the design for you? The aquascape, because I noticed that the rocks are different.
Not only the rock in the tank, every single thing in the tank I made by myself.
You did it yourself?
Yes.
And here's a guy who's only been, so you started about 6 years ago with the guppies. How long have you been in saltwater, in the marine?
Actually now 3 years.
3 years. Guys, you can see, 3 years, and this is where he is. And I've said it over and over and over again. The successful hobbyist is the tenacious hobbyist. And since he likes challenges, he's tenacious about taking on these challenges and succeeding. And he's doing a great job. Now, do you do any water changes?
In the beginning, I was doing every single week.
Every single week?
Every single week.
How much water were you changing?
Like 10%, maximum 15%.
Not more than 10%?
No more, 15%.
Oh, 15%?
From 10 to 15%.
15% water change weekly?
Weekly. Then after 1 year, I stopped.
After 1 year?
I stopped.
What brand of salt are you using?
In the beginning, before I start to use Red Sea.
Red Sea.
Blue bucket.
The blue bucket,
Yes.
okay.
Then I shift to Modern Reef salt.
Modern Reef.
Yes.
Yes, that's the new era of our aquatic trade right now. Modern Reef is making a big impact. As a matter of fact, It's really big here in the UAE. A lot of people use that methodology, and that's the methodology that you're using with this system,
No, I'm
right?
using this.
Okay, so explain to us a little bit of what do you do with the Modern Reef? What is it that you're supposed to do, and how do you do it?
Actually, with Modern Reef, it's make the reefing more easy.
Okay, how?
I'm running full system of Modern Reef now, around 8 to 9 months. I just run 4 dosing pump, forehead dosing pump.
The forehead doser.
There is 4 part.
Uh-huh.
KH1, KH2, magnesium, and calcium.
That's it. In those 4.
This 4. Then
And-
you have to go to complete the system. You have to dose manually or by dosing pump to make it easy for you. The food. There is 2 type of food.
Oh, okay. So Modern Reef, aside from the 4 chemicals that you dose,
Yes.
there's a food that you apply to the tank.
Yes.
And how often do you apply the food?
Every single day.
Every single day?
Yes, morning and evening.
Okay. So you said there's 2 foods.
Yes.
So what's the first one?
The first one at morning there is polyp poop. Then the evening there is completely food. You have to close it.
Okay. So completely is at the end of the day?
Yes.
Okay. So those 2, and how much do you use in this system of it in the morning, and how much you use at the end of the day?
There is a calculation. You have to do it. It's depend of the how much you are dosing of the method. You have to multiply 0.04. How much you are dosing? How many ml?
Right.
Then it will give you a number how much you are dosing.
Okay, so you're doing it based on the directions.
Yes.
So the directions
Okay.
tell you this is how much you're supposed to
Yes.
do based on
Yes.
this
I'm following the
information.
instructions. I'm dosing the methods chemical 120 ml daily
Daily.
from the each 4.
Uh,
The good things and like you have to dose each one same.
right. So
100
equal
ml,
amounts
yes.
of every.
100 ml from KH, from magnesium, from calcium,
Uh-huh.
like that.
Okay. So you're dosing 100 ml,
120 now.
120
ml
every day
every day.
of each or of
Yes.
one?
From each.
From each one?
Yes.
Okay. So that sounds like a lot of liquid.
Not allowed.
It's not a lot? No? Okay. What introduced you, or who introduced you to Modern Reef?
First things, I have very big issue before I start in Modern Reef.
Okay.
The issue it was dinoflagellates.
The what?
Dinoflagellates.
Oh, dinoflagellates, yes.
It was
Everybody has
very,
those in the beginning.
Very big issue for me.
Uh-huh.
It's killing my acro.
It was killing your
Start
acros.
killing my acro.
Uh-huh.
Stuck in the acro.
Right.
There is no oxygen.
Right. So you decided, okay, I got to do something to fight the dinoflagellates.
Yes, I'm thinking how to fix this issue
Right.
because I'm losing my tank.
Right.
All my 2 years it will go.
Down the drain.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I hear about Modern Reef bacteria, biodiversity.
Right.
Then I said, let's try this bacteria. If it will work with me or will not work. From first week, I surprised with results. Only bacteria using,
Right.
without any change.
Mm-hmm.
The dino is almost gone.
Almost gone.
Yes. Then I read more about Modern Reef. I saw tanks using Modern Reef. I hear about them. Then I said, let's try.
Okay. So where did you go to get the information on Modern Reef? Did you go online or the shops? What did you do?
To be true with you, first things I hear from my friends.
From your friends?
Yes, outside friends.
Okay, so not outside friends outside of Dubai?
Yes, outside of Dubai.
Okay.
Actually,
So you were communicating online
yes,
with your friends?
Arab River.
Okay. Oh, okay. And he was the one that was suggesting what to do and how to do it?
Yes.
Okay. So now you decided, okay, I want to do more Modern Reef products.
Yes.
You had to find
The supplier here.
the supplier.
Yes, you have to find a shop selling this here.
Right,
I hear about Ayman and Kingfish.
right.
You start bringing this products.
Okay. So now you go to Amen for your Modern Reef
Yes.
products.
I hear also about the owner of Modern Reef coming here for interview of his product.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's right. He was in town several weeks ago.
That's
Or was it a year ago?
around year now.
Yeah, about a year
I
ago.
start the method.
Right, right, right. So he was in town and he visited Amen,
Yes.
and quite a few hobbyists came for
Yes.
the invite.
Yes. We hear about more Modern Reef about him, with him.
Right. And I'm going to be doing a feature with him. I'm going to take a trip to England, and then from England I'm going to go to Germany, and I'm going to meet up with him, and we're going to discuss his methodology. Because you know me, I'm an old timer, so I like my old-fashioned way of doing things, and it's always been successful. However, I'm never the type of guy to say no to something new. I'll take a look at it, see how it is. But from the example that we have here, you can see that it's a great methodology. It's really doing beautiful for your tank. His tank is not only are the corals growing well, but they're colorful. We have to whiten the light in order for us to appear well in front of the camera. But basically, you know, if he had the lights on the way he had it when we first got here, you could see the fluorescence in all the corals. I mean, really dynamic, really beautiful. And so you started using Modern Reef.
Yes.
How soon after you started using Modern Reef did you start seeing the results?
2 weeks.
In
I'm
2 weeks.
surprising in 2 weeks.
So in 2 weeks, you noticed a big change between what you were using before and what you're doing now.
Yes.
And you loved it. Well, obviously, right? Yeah, you're having a good time. So we talked about the water changes. So now that you're using Modern Reef,
Yes.
you're not doing any more water changes?
No.
Zero.
0.
See that? Beautiful tank, 0 water changes, and using Modern Reef products.
Yes.
So this is why I do have to take a trip to Germany. I do have to meet up with them and see why the success, why this is going so well. For your filtration, what do you have down below?
Reef roller,
The Red Sea Roller?
Red Sea, Reef Mark 1200, Octopus, Reef Octopus skimmer, 200 rigger, Cheeto.
Okay, oh, so you have a refugium.
Yes, a fusion.
Oh, okay, all right. And how do you like having the refugium? Have you always had a refugium?
Yes.
Okay.
When I start the reefing.
When you started reefing, you started with a
Yes.
refugium,
Yeah,
and you still have one now?
Yes.
Okay.
Very big refugium.
And what else is for filtration?
UV.
And a UV.
Yes.
So you have 1, 2 UVs?
2 UV.
Aha, he has 2 UVs. How many watts?
39 watts.
39 watts.
DD.
Also, it's a Delta.
Delta.
Yes,
And Aquatic 55.
55.
Yes.
And you find that you need the UV
Because of fish.
because of the fish.
Yes.
Right. So you're trying to keep the bacteria,
Bacteria
you're trying
infections.
to, and the ick.
Yes.
Under control.
Out of the tank.
Okay. All right. what else can you tell us about the tank? What kind of lights do you have on the tank?
4 Radeon G6 Pro,
Uh-huh.
4 Orphipt,
Uh-huh.
2 Sky Blue and 2 Blue Plus, and 1 AI in the forward of the tank.
Okay.
AI Blue.
AI blue.
Glow.
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 Okay.
AI Blue.
So I can say that the way you have it decorated, the lights that you have on this tank, very successful. If you had to do this all over again, what would you do different?
I will start only with SBS.
You would start with what?
Only SBS.
Only SBS?
Yes. Not what
No
I'm trying to
LPS.
do now.
Uh-huh.
Be patient with one type of coral. To make the mixed reef is very hard.
Uh-huh. Well, no, but you've got LPSs here.
Yes.
And they're all doing very well.
My big challenge is the flow.
It's the flow. Right, and see, that's the thing, with SPS corals, you sacrifice because you need a lot of flow.
Yes.
So for flow, what do you have in the tank?
2 Max Big Gyre,
Uh-huh.
1 G-Bow Gyre, 1 Ecotech MD60.
Well, and you know, the more these acros grow, the more flow you're going to need.
Yes.
Or you're gonna need to start cutting.
I keep upgrading the
flow. Well, you're doing a beautiful job. And before we leave, I want to know from you, do you have any words of wisdom besides patience for the people that are watching the video?
Don't have it.
Don't have it.
Don't have
See?
it. Take your time.
Take your time. And I think that's words of wisdom you've learned. Now, when you started, did you try to rush it?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That's my mistake in the beginning. Always we did this.
Uh-huh.
We are like want everything.
Right away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we surprised with dying fish, dying
The
coral.
problems.
Yes, the problem starts with you. Because
Right.
of this, I told you take your time.
Right. So would you ever do a bigger tank than this one?
Yes, I'm planning to do 4 meter now.
A 4 meter.
4 meter.
That's going to be interesting, and we'll be on top of him, following him as he goes to the 4 meter.
I'm shifting my home because of the tank.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Vargas Reef. Thank you for having us in your home.
Thank you too.
I really appreciate your, welcoming us here and with open arms. I really appreciate it. I really love coming to see reef tanks that make a difference. He can go and teach other people now how to keep these reef tanks because he's really successful at it.
Thank you.
I will be back in a year to see what happens here or to see that 4 meter.
Give me 2 years.
2 years?
I'm building a new house
Uh-huh.
for the tank.
For the tank.
For the tank.
Wow. See, that's going to be really nice. And keep me informed because we at Vargas Reef Chronicles, we want to follow your progress. We want to be there from the very beginning when you're doing, when you start, when it's all dirt and concrete, all the way to a beautiful tank like this.
Actually, I'm starting now.
So it's going to be 4 meters long.
4 meter long.
And how wide? How deep?
3 meter.
3 meters.
Yes.
And how high?
1 meter and a half.
1 meter high.
Half.
1.5 meters. That's going to be an interesting tank.
Thank you.
And I could just imagine lighting that thing up and putting in those corals and the fish and everything in there. So, again, thank you for joining us on Vargas Reef Chronicles. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and please hit the notification bell because we're going to stay in tune with him as he progresses to his next big aquarium. Until next time, happy reefing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You have to love reefing.